Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the homestead. So glad you could make it. We're back from vacation. And on my agenda today is a little bit of tractoring. I need to get the brush hog out and clean up some areas over there where we just have the area that we haven't developed at all. So I need to get that get the weeds knocked down, because the day before we left, or a couple days before we left for vacation, one of the issues we had was about a 5-foot or so cottonmouth that showed up on our property. Now, cottonmouths are bad, and they're not a snake that you want your dog or cat to get a hold of, or your leg. Just saying, probably not a good thing. So I got rid of that one, and I need to get the weeds, tall weeds and grass, knocked down on the property so that they won't be enticed to come up the property seeking food more toward the inhabited part. So I need to get the tractor out, which means I need to air the tires up, fire it up. I need to get the blade off the back and put the brush hog on it. So first thing I'm going to do is go grab my air compressor, get it plugged in. Oh, I have a new air valve too, air up mechanism gauge thing. That's so scientific, I know. Anyway, I need to go get that out of my truck and put the fitting on it and all of that fun stuff, and then we'll get started. And by the way, for those of you that watched our little mini episodes while we were on vacation to help keep us in the algorithms, thank you. We really, really appreciate it. And God bless you. All right, let's get to that work. Okay, what you saw me doing was just normal maintenance stuff, checking oil, that kind of stuff. My oil filter was leaking. It was a little loose, so I snugged it up. Hydraulic fluid's good. I don't know why I'm still having problem with the down on my my back hydraulics, but I'm going to have to look that up. I haven't had time. It does go down. It just takes a while. It'll go down a little faster, I think, with the brush hog on it because it weighs so much more. I do need to get some grease and grease up the shaft for the brush hog, slide the yoke on, put the two halves together, and then get it hooked up to the tractor. So I'll go get some grease. We'll get on the greasy stuff. Okay, it's on. It's adjusted. Good as I can do. We'll. I think we're going to go from that way and then that way. That way it covers that whole area behind my garage, beside my garage as well, and behind the boat. So we'll do that first and see how things go. A while ago I tried an adjustment on that brush hog, and I dropped that rear tire down, which raised the back end up, and it's causing more problems than it's worth. I'd rather have the back end drag actually, as long as the front end stays up. So I'm going to drop that wheel back up one notch where it was originally, where I had originally put it, and see if that does us a little better. So let me go get a couple of big crescent wrenches and we'll get on that. Okay, the sprinklers just went off, so we're going to have to put this project off for a minute. So when I say the sprinklers went off, we don't have like a sprinkler system. For those of you that have been following along for a while, you know we have an aerobic septic system. And what it does is it drops the raw sewage into the first tank, and then it does its thing, goes into the second tank. When it fills up enough and finishes doing its thing, it goes into the third tank. By the time it's done with the third tank, it's recycled water. So would you drink it? I don't know. I don't know. But it's chlorinated, it's recycled, and it gets scattered around the property that way. There's a couple of 360 sprinklers, and they just go off when they go off, because they go off when the third tank hits a certain level, and it's time. Apparently it's time. We didn't get to choose. It just chose on its own. So we'll let it do its thing. When it's done, we'll go back to mowing. Okay. While I was dodging the sprinkler and didn't want to get the camera wet, I went ahead and raised that rear tire up, the steer tire on the back of that implement. So it's good to go. I'm ready to go. Sprinklers are still going off. I don't care. They shoot low across the ground, so I won't get wet, or much anyway. So we're going to go ahead and try it. I may have to do some other adjustments before I'm done, because I did raise that tire up, and all the adjustments I've made have been for the tire where it was before. Needless to say, let's do the best we can. Well, it's fine howdy do. I noticed a bunch of steam coming up out of the motor. So I flipped the hood open and I looked. Fan wasn't turning. Everything else was turning, but the fan wasn't turning. So the water pump seems to be locked up. It's done that one other time. I was able to tap it and get it free. But I got to let it cool down before that happens because it's too hot to reach in there right now. So I'm going to let it cool down for a little bit, and then I'll tap it. I may get back to this. I may get on to something else. I may just grab the weed eater and finish up around that stack of wood right there in the gray. Finish up around that. That was kind of the big chore, that was to get that cleaned up around so we can get ready to start construction on another building. So I'm going to go take a moisture break and come back out and see what happens. Guess I better go get some ant killer. I didn't see that one. I went to go back over there and it was just like swarming. I thought, oh, okay. I'll go get some ant killer. Be right back. Well, I'm not sure if that's the most spread out pile of fire ants I've ever seen or if I flung them everywhere with that weed eater. But I had them all over my leg, my foot, my boot. I think I got them all off, but if you see me start dancing, that's probably ants. I'm going to start on the other side of that patch now. Stay away from those guys. Okay, well, that does it for this area over here. I'll have to get back to the tractor later, and then I have to take the belt off so I can get it back over to the shop. That way I don't tear the belt up. Anyway, I'll have to check into it. Last time I worked it back and forth and it just kind of got itself free. Maybe the same thing this time. I don't know. Maybe the folks that had it long before me didn't run coolant or antifreeze in it, and it caused a bunch of rust in there. Because the only thing that keep that rust down is antifreeze or coolant. That'll help lubricate things and keep things from rusting. So remember that on your farm equipment and even your personal equipment. Make sure you got some kind of coolant or antifreeze or something in there with your water. That way you can help keep that rust down and change it on a regular basis. Just a little helpful tip. Anyway, this area I'm done with. So I'm going to see you later. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Sure is glad to be back. Or I sure am glad to be back. There you go. We'll see you next time on the homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, leave us a comment. Bye now.